Hey guys, who we got here tonight? Eric, Will, Mark, Kevin Wisen. Oh my goodness, Paul, David Day. There's Affordable Frags. I'm so glad to see you guys all here. I'm gonna let everyone give you a few minutes. Nicole. I don't know, Nicole. I seen that. I don't know what happened. Dwayne, howdy. How are you, buddy? Robert Spock. Daniel, I'm glad you did make it. Oh my goodness. There's Andrew Sandler. Yes, you made it from the beginning, Will. You sure did. Oh, y'all look. There's my husband, Lavoy. Hey, darling. Glad to see you. Even if it's on a live. Good deal. I'm glad to see everyone here. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Where is Ted Walton? Well, where's my sidekick? You see a celebrity in here? I do too. How about that? Jose, I'm glad to see you. Kevin Wisen, there you are. Guys, I'm so thankful for a great shirt. How about that? I got this in the... I got two new shirts sent to me this week. This one came first, so I'm wearing it tonight. Thank you, Dinkins Aquatics. I love it, and I'm using my brand new Dinkins Aquatic Gardens ink pen tonight. I love it. I got some really cool metallic stickers and magnets. And all of it came in this. Isn't that cute, y'all? Look at that. I love it. I was like, oh my gosh. It was like Christmas. I was like, that's just so cool. I appreciate the shirt. And I do have another shirt. Not going to change midstream here, but next week I will have on a different shirt that was sent to me today. Or not today. I got it a couple of days ago. Actually, Lavoy and I got matching ones. And it was a good surprise. Karen, I'm so glad to see you here. You're a sticker junkie? Well, hey, Dwayne, I'm glad you said that. Now, as you guys know, like tomorrow at high noon, RJ Reeves, glad to see you here. Jolene, as you know, when we do the drop tomorrow for next week's guest, we try to do it at high noon. On that post, you guys will comment. Whatever, just comment, hey, or waiting for the guest, or whatever. But you're going to get you're going to go into a drawing for a sticker pack giveaway. And this is an example of the one that will be going out tomorrow for this week's sticker pack giveaway. Check that out. Now, that is some cool stickers. Now, this is the sticker pack or similar. Every sticker pack won't be exact, but they will include several stickers like this. So, if you are a sticker junkie and you would like to, tomorrow when we post the... Oh, I dropped one. There's another one. Tomorrow when we post the guest for next week, please comment. Hey, Joseph, glad to see you here. Please comment on that post and you will be included. And it's just a random drawing. I will drop the video from where I did the spin earlier today. And we only had like 7 or 8 entries for this past sticker week. So, guys, I'm telling you, these are good sticker packs. Absolutely they are. Yes, David Day, you need to get on your game. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad to see each and every one of you here. Now, before I bring our special guest on, I do want to say thank you. We have not although it shows on the mobile version that we've hit 2K, Facebook is really strange in that aspect, but it rounds it up if you get so much. And we are, hey King, we are this close, guys. If Chad Walton is on here, he can give us another count, but last I think I got was like maybe 43 to go to 2K. And as you guys know, there's going to be a 2K giveaway when we hit that. Hey Casey, glad you made it. I know, Eric, it is missing a Polo Reef sticker. I'm waiting on somebody to send me some of those Polo Reef stickers. Andrew. Anyway, this is an awesome sticker pack. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Now, oh, thank you, King. I appreciate that. I really do. Hey, I don't know how to say your whole name, so I'm just going to say Perkins. How about that? Daryl Bonds is here. Everybody's getting on. I appreciate it so much. I really do. Now, I wanted, before we bring our guest on, which we all know is JasonGiannas. If you don't know, I don't know how you could have missed it from Tank Talk page because it's been blasting all week. Yes, Will, please do. I would love to include them in my sticker packs. You got stickers, Andrew? Oh my gosh, I need a few, please. I really do. She needs it. Well, I know. I need another Tank Talk with Diane shirt. The ones I'm having on made, they were outed on ink and on white ink only. So there's been a delay in them, but I do have them ordered. They're already paid for and everything. They're just waiting for the ink to get there. You need that like last week. Oh gosh, I know. I love my Tank Talk with Diane shirt. It's really cool. Hats off to Matt Atkins for making that and sending it to me. And he was the one that actually designed my logo, which I'm very proud of. It's just, I love it. And that is the exact thing that is on my shirt. Now, while I've got you all on here, before I bring Jason on, like I said, I just want to welcome you all. Thank you for all the invites. Absolutely fabulous. Guys, we're right at 2K. We're going to make it before the August 1st challenge. But don't stop there. Just know that we're going to have special guests coming up. We've got some awesome people scheduled. I don't divulge much information. So you'll see it on the drop noon tomorrow. And you like my shirt too, King? Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep the invites coming, guys. And I do want to tell you about another group, MARBA, Marine and Reef. Paul dropped, I just went brain dead. Paul, please drop the link for MARBA or Shelly, you either one. Drop the link, please. Yes. Drop the link for MARBA. They also have a huge giveaway, and they're trying to get to 3K by August 2nd. So if you guys, there you go, Marine and Reef Aquariums for Beginners and Advanced. If you guys could please go over there after the live and join, I would really appreciate it, and bring any of your buddies over there. I'm pretty sure we are going to get to our 2K before August 1st. I'm really hoping that we will hit it either tonight or tomorrow. And I will absolutely let you guys know, because you're just about going to hear me screaming from the rooftops. There's Joe Glass Cages. Hey, there you are. And I seen, see, that's going in the sticker pack this week. And I also seen, a while ago, Chad Clayton is on here. Thank you very much, guys, for supporting us. I really appreciate everyone's support. Now, I'm going to try. Shelly, if you don't care, I don't see him on here. If you don't care, could you please tag Chad Walton? I can't even talk. There's Scott. Let's see if we can't get Jason on here. Because we're going to talk about rocks tonight. Let me see if I can find him. Okay. Somebody better... I invited him to join. He's not even on here yet. So give us just a few minutes. And there's Susan. Hey, Susan, I'm glad you made it. I hope you got that little mess figured out, Arler. You need to set up your glass cage. Oh, you have a glass cage? Awesome. Oh, there's Jason. Hey, Tracy Rogers. All right. Let's see. Now he's on here. Let me find him. Adding. Keep your fingers crossed, guys, that this works. Hopefully it will. Just a minute. Oh, I see him coming on.
Where am I? Oh, there I am. Finally.
There you are, Jason. I see you.
I see you too. What's up, everybody?
Oh, my goodness. How are you tonight, Jason?
I feel pretty damn good.
Good deal. Oh, that's awesome.
How you doing?
Awesome. Awesome. I'm doing good. It's been hot. I'm sick of this 100-degree temperature.
I'm sick of the traffic.
I see yours and Eric's little traffic updates once in a while. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, we love to keep each other busy. I'm telling you. It's
Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know, this is Jason Giannas, and he's here to tell us a little bit. Well, first of all, we're going to discuss Jason. Tell us a little bit about the man behind the rock.
all right. Well, about the aquarium industry, I always liked fish when I grew up. My father took me fishing, and I always loved it. Just catching the little fish, little sunfish in the lake, some bass. And I always told my dad, I'm like, listen, I want to put these in a fish tank. I want to see them swim, I want to, get the look of them, And we bought a fish tank, and we actually put them in the aquarium and fed them like pieces of chicken and just like old school, my dad's Greek. He's off the boat Greek. So he's like, we can feed him this, feed him that. And then, as time went on, I told him I want to get a little saltwater fish tank. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, we'll get it. So we bought a saltwater fish tank, and I set it up, and I had no clue what I was doing. Like, I was researching, just looking up stuff and trying to get the idea of how to run a fish tank, saltwater fish tank. And then, yeah, and then after, I said to myself, you know what? I really want to get this down to the T where I can be a master at it. So I didn't have the money for it. My dad didn't want to spend the money at the time. So I had from my grandmother a savings account, and it was $3,000, I remember. So I set up another fish tank in my room, and I literally had everything down to the T where I studied from all books. Back in the day, we had books. There wasn't a lot of internet back then. So we had the books, and I got all my information from there. I'm an old school hobbyist, so I water out, water in. Yeah, and I set up the fish tank, and I was working at about, say, 5 to 6 aquarium stores, and I finally managed that one. And I learned so much. I can't explain how much I learned at these stores. From plumbing to ordering fish, corals. And when I learned all this, I started growing my own coral in these tanks. And I said to myself, this is awesome. I was like, this is amazing. So finally I stayed and managed at one aquarium store. And I remember we had live rock, and it was all the old Fiji premium live rock. And I said to myself, this is the way to, you know, start a saltwater tank up, because that's what we had back then. We
Right.
were they were importing it from Fiji, and as soon as I did that, I followed my routine that worked on how to have a successful fish tank, saltwater fish tank.
Right.
And then finally, at the store I managed at, I asked my boss, and I said, "Listen, can I like try to get accounts on the side, doing installation service?" And he said, "Yeah, as long as you don't interfere with, your regular, work day, every day here." I was like, "All right." So I made some business cards and sent them out to all my customers that came in, and they said, "All right, no problem." They came up to me and they're like, "Hey, can you come over and clean my fish tank?" I'm like, "Sure, no problem." And I went over there, started doing service, and it just built up from there. I did heavy advertisement after on Google, did Google AdWords, word of mouth. I'm also into big on the Board of Education. I have a bunch of public schools in the city that I service and have installed aquariums for them. And yeah, from there it was. Oh, I forgot to tell you, just to mention my mom when I started. She took me to the Caribbean, and
Oh.
for 7 years in a row, I went to Jamaica. And when I was there, I remember I went up to it was like a whole marina, like pier area. I saw all the saltwater fish, and I said to
Oh.
myself, "Yeah." I said, "Ma, I want to catch these fish." I was like 5 years old, probably 6 years old, and
Oh.
yeah, and this was in Jamaica, and there was nothing but fishing line there. There was no fishing poles, so I started catching these fish, and I saw wrasses, angels, and all the Caribbean fish, and I'm like, "Oh, this is so pretty." So that's what kind of got me also, like between my dad and my mom, they kind of brought me on to like where I am today,
So
and
you started when you were pretty young because you're not that old right now.
yeah, I'm 35 now, but give or take, like in the aquarium hobby first, and then the industry, when I was like 14 years old, 15 years old. Because
Wow.
in high school, sad to say, um, I cut school and I worked at an aquarium store. It's bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had it bad.
Yeah. I told my dad, I was living in Levittown, New York. My dad built the house there and I moved in with him. And he's like, "Jay, if you're going to do this, I'm telling you right now, if you don't go to school, I'll let you do what you want to do. But, I don't want you to work like your dad." And I'm like, I know what I want to do in my life. I know what I want to do. And thank God he let me do that, and it paid off. You
That's
know,
awesome.
I wasn't forced to do what, you know, a parent said, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be a doctor. No, I wanted to, make a passion into like a hobby and into a job, a career.
Right.
And
And you can see when a person has a passion for something, just as Robert King has a passion for breeding clownfish and
yeah,
sharing with the world how he does it. You can tell by speaking with someone if it's a passion. And, I can hear it in your voice. I really can. Hey, there's my fish guy. He's watching. Hey, Tyler. Um, now, I, re- let's see. Let me show you Tyler. There's Tyler.
let's close
Actually,
your.
it's Tyler's sticker. Okay, Jason. So you started out at a pretty young age with the interest of saltwater and tanks
Sure.
and stuff. So what led you to the Australian live rock? How did you get hooked up with that?
Okay, so about 6 years ago, I remember about I think 5 or 6 years ago, my last Indonesia shipment of live rock, because I've been transshipping it into me. I was running out, and I do a lot of aquarium installations. So I was running out, and I had this job. It was a 220 and it was a 220 custom and a
Uh-huh.
175 custom, and I said to myself, I'm running out of rock. How am I gonna like fill these tanks up? I'm like, uh-oh. So I try to contact every single like supplier, like in Indonesia, Solomon Islands, Marshall. I mean, I tried everywhere. Then I tried Vietnam. I tried Australia, and I said, wait, Australia? Let me see if I can find somebody there. And I finally just
Jason,
like, huh?
let me introduce you right quick. We've got a like I don't know a special appearance. This is Mullet Boy.
Hey, bud. Wagging it up, huh?
That's my grandson just passing through, y'all.
Nice to meet you.
I'm the icon of her channel. People only watch her videos to get a chance at seeing me. See, look, hey, there we go.
That's funny. That's great.
That's my oldest grandson, and we refer to him as Mullet Boy.
Mother boy.
Okay, I'm
Great.
sorry to have interrupted you, but
No,
it was
no.
you know,
I was just standing here. I was fine.
he was just standing here smiling. So there we go. We got that
No,
over
no,
with.
it's okay.
Everyone loves me. They were just trying to look at me. So I'm sorry I had to distract everyone from your talk.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's
Let me
all
think
I'm
right
just
away.
too good looking. They were just. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that's funny.
The bullet's too good.
Y'all see what I got to put up with right there? Do you see that?
Do you see all my fans commenting on your page?
Okay, buddy. Let's get through this.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, he's
So
funny.
tell Ethan I said hi, but be careful. Okay, I'm
Um,
sorry. Now
no,
let's
no,
get
it's
back
okay.
to this rock.
All right, so I try to contact different suppliers across the whole world and trying to get real live rock, and they actually banned rock in Indonesia and a lot of other places, except Australia. So yeah, so I went on Instagram. I met some hobbyists on there that, you know, was into aquariums, and the person's from Australia, and this is a funny story. And you know, we both like talking, and she was flirting with me. I was flirting back, and I asked her, I'm like, "Do you know anybody in Australia who has live rock?" And the person goes, "Yes, I do." And I was like, "Whoa!" And what I did was I contacted that supplier, and you know how long it took me to get in touch with him for him to reply back to me? Guess how long?
2 weeks.
1 year. 1 year. I sent numerous amount of emails, and I'm like, please message me. And in my head, I'm thinking like I'm running out of rock. I said, I'm not using artificial rock. I'm using what works for me in my business. And
Right.
FYI, I have about over 100 clients I service, you know, saltwater and freshwater, and I'm not gonna change my routine.
Right.
So finally, I got in touch with the supplier, and the supplier, you know, and I had a chat, and we were trying to figure out, you know, how to get the rock here. And I've gotten my import license, and started importing Australia live rock. I was a little nervous at that point because, remember, if people don't understand, I can tell you a little about it. To get this rock, it's not like I pull it out of my butt. You know, it grows on trees. You know, I got to import this. So you got to send money to the supplier, and you better hope that that supplier sends you your goods. So you got to share a relationship with him.
Right.
So, yeah.
Absolutely you do.
So
I mean, you got to have that going on, because if not, one, you could get took advantage of real quick.
Oh, yeah. One, and also, you know, you're dealing with a lot of the Fish and Wildlife customs. So all the paperwork has to go through smooth. So, you know, I get a lot of these suppliers on Facebook about, hey, we want to sell to you. You know, you want to buy these corals from us, and you know, they could be scammers for all you know, and most of them are. So, you know, it's not an easy gig to import, especially in the aquarium industry. So I finally built a very excellent relationship with my supplier, and we actually chat almost every day. And a lot of people ask me, hey, you know, that stuff's not from Australia. Oh, you know, how do you know it's from Australia? And I said, well, you know what? Whoever doesn't believe me, I'm going there next year to visit my supplier. I'm going to take some videos and snorkel and pick up some rock and show everybody.
Awesome. That's awesome. That sounds like so much fun. Now, do you have some pieces there with you that you can show us?
Yeah,
Kind
yeah. Hold
of give us an example of what you've got?
Yeah. So I have a few pieces I brought up here with my, how do you flip this around? All right, so I
There you
have my
go.
scale over here. I'll show you, so this is like, if you can tell, this rock is very porous. So on this rock, on all Australian rock and live rock in general, it's all dead coral that's been broken off of, live reefs. And it's been like pushed by currents and creating these reef zones. Especially, there's other things like intertidal zones. So
Uh-huh.
those are like pretty much like on land when you see like close to land and shore, you see like rocks that are in and out of water during different tides, high tide, low tide. And what happens is a lot of crustaceans are driven to that, and they all like feed off the rock that was a live coral at the time, and it's just all calcified over time. I mean, thousands of years. I mean, this stuff is like just broken off and just sitting in the water. So
Wow.
so what happens is you get all these like calcareous organisms and things on the rock, and you can see like I mean, this was a dead coral at the time. I don't know if you could see it.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
some kind of, yeah, I mean, that's been dead for a little bit. But, all how porous this rock is, I mean, all bacteria just like seeds in there. And that's from the ocean. There's nothing artificial about it. This is live coral at one point that's been just weathered and sitting in the ocean for years and years and years, building all that bacteria. And what happens is you get all types of growth on there. You got coralline algae, you got kelp, you got ulva algae, you got sponges. Sometimes you got like little coral on there, like live coral, but it has to be broken off. It's you can't have it shipped. But other than that, I mean, if you guys can guess how much this rock weighs, I'll weigh it right now.
Okay. We got any
Let's see.
guesses on? Now, think about this, because when you go to your local fish store or whatever, and you have, you buy some live rock or whatever, generally it's, it weighs quite a bit. It's kind of solid.
Yes.
Jason, how much does that rock weigh?
Can people guess first? Let's see. Anybody want
Yeah,
to guess
let's
or
get
no?
it. We got 7 pounds. We've
Will.
got 5 pounds. We've got, what else we got? Anybody else? 5.9 pounds, 8 pounds.
Okay, you ready?
Let's do it. Let's see what it is. 6.1. Let's see what else. 6.4.
What does that say?
Boom. 4.5 pounds.
Okay,
Now,
so hold on.
let's see how big that is.
All right, I'm going to measure this for you guys. I got a tape measure right here. Got the good Milwaukee tape measure. So you
All right.
got 8.5 inches long.
Gotcha.
And then you got the height of it, probably get about like 9 inches, 8.5, 9 inches. So you got, this thing's like 8 by 8 piece. And one thing about this live rock is in that it's very porous.
Yes.
It's mainly dead Monipora and dead Aquapora. Like I said before, it was aged for years and years, so this is why it looks like this. But Mani is very light, and Aquapora is pretty light. So once that's all conglomerated together after years and years, I mean, this stuff is super porous, and for the weight it is, comparing to like artificial rock, you got artificial rock that's mostly, in my opinion, is made up of sand, glue, and they say it's made up of some kind of limestone, but I think it's sand, glue, and just together and put up, and the weight difference. I mean, this thing at an artificial rock would weigh, on my guess, maybe like 10 pounds, maybe. I mean, you guys know seeing all these type of artificial rocks, but from me, looking at it, I mean, you can't compare, because especially with artificial rock, I don't know if you want to get into it now, but it's not porous. There's no surface area for for bacteria to seed. So that's one subject I want to talk about after, about bacteria seeding. But okay, let me get you another rock. I'll show you.
Okay.
This is a branch rock.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, this is pretty.
I just so happen to have one right there in my
Ah,
tank. Thank you,
you
David
like
Day and
you like that piece,
Jason.
right? This piece is, look, the same thing, 4.5 about. Let's see. Yep. Can you guys see it?
I see that 4.5.
And this one, let me see the tape measure. Where is it? Uh, brain freeze. All right, here we go. So this one here is a foot long.
Wow,
See that?
that's
And it's
amazing.
only
Yes, I
four and
love
a
that
half.
piece.
Guys, it's only 4.5 pounds. And this piece is about 150 bucks for this piece. I do actually, go by pound, anywhere from 25 to $30 a pound. It used to be more expensive when freight rates were much higher. I got a little cheaper freight rate, but if you guys want to like pick selective pieces, get me on the phone. It's going to be a little more, but I'm the only guy who's bringing this stuff in. I mean, there's probably one other guy, but they don't do selective pieces.
Right.
But I can stand by my supplier that I not being a narcissist or something. I know for a fact that I've got the most craziest shaped live rock out there, and I mean this is nothing. I have another 2,000 pounds in my garage area just curing in there, and I'm getting shipments every 2 months the way it's moving. So
Right.
yep, shipping
Now
is
that's
nuts right now, Adam.
now curing let's discuss that just a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, when okay, like for instance, well, let's do the past first. If
correct.
you go to the ocean and you get a rock out and you take it and you go throw it in your tank immediately, you are gonna have past.
Correct.
Correct? Now,
100,000%.
right. So, but this live rock, you have it cured, correct?
Yes, half cured and half uncured.
Okay.
So it depends on when these shipments come in. If I sell the rock pretty fast, it's going to be uncured because the curing process could take up to 2 months, 8 weeks. So with the live rock, as soon as it comes in, right, it ships to me overnight. So as soon as I get it, I open the boxes up. I see critters moving around. You got like crabs, black hawk crabs. You got mantis shrimp. I've seen some crazy stuff on there. And when I
Oh
was
my
at
goodness.
the Reaper Palooza, we found a mount. Eric and I found some mantis shrimp on the rock. I mean, he was dead, but um, after about 3 days of this rock, if it does not hit the water, the bacteria will stay alive. And the reason why, that's the most important thing, and the hitchhikers will die. They need water to live in,
Right.
especially temperature changes. So most of your, like 90% of your hitchhikers are dead through transit. Um, Even if you put the rock right away in a bin with like salinity of 1.025, the ammonia spike, right? The whole nitrogen cycle is going to spike because all the rock, right? It's not used to that new water, so everything's going to die off. Your coralline algae also will die off, but there are still some on there, especially if you're starting up a new tank, because once that rock is in there, right? The rock has that coralline, even though you don't see it. It's in the water column, and as the tank is curing with the live rock, your coralline eventually will start coming back. But
Gotcha.
but as far as the hitchhikers wise, all the hitchhikers on this live rock is dead, on top of me raising the salinity of my. I have these big vats. It's at
Yeah.
1.050, 4050. I just skyrocketed. It keeps that bacteria alive, but all of the hitchhikers are dead. That's all I want. I want that bacteria, the
Right.
bacteria and the pores of that rock. And I don't
Yes.
want anything. If man made it, I don't want it.
Right.
So
Well,
so
you
go
just
ahead.
you just done so good and had such good luck. With the live rock and stuff, and to, now, like with my tank, I'd bought it all used and stuff and set it up, and it had live rock in it. That was had been in it for probably 3+ years. And, I put a piece of your live rock in there. I really wanted it really bad. Thank you, David Day. And so, I don't know how long, total everything's been going. I just lost my train of thought with that.
Sorry.
But, the bacteria, the porous amount with your rocks versus, I want to say fake rocks. I don't know how you'd put it actually. But the difference is just phenomenal in the amount of bacteria, the surface area, the lightweight. When I got that piece in from you, I was like, I was in this box and I was like, what
is this?
is that, And sure enough, I opened it and I was like, oh my God, this is just beautiful.
Yeah,
I absolutely
you know
loved
what
it.
it is, you know what it is, Tyann? From setting up so many tanks, and I got people telling me, oh, how do you know that stuff works? And I said, look, I don't set up one tank. I set up hundreds of tanks in my life, and all reef tanks, and I know what works. I've used actual artificial rock, and I've done it for a hotel. I've done it for nursing homes. And I said, let me try, I'm not mentioning names, but I've tried it, and yeah, you can keep stuff alive in there, keep some soft coral, some SPS, but the difference with cycling, what a significant difference. Like, it took me like literally almost a year to get stuff started taking off, like SPS. And it's just, when all that rock, you see it, like when you try to get coralline growing on there, my alka was like at 10, 11. I was like, oh my God. I was literally going to customers' houses who call me randomly saying, oh, I'm having trouble with my tanks. And all these tanks I go and see, they all have, all weird algae growing and the alk's super high. And, I've seen the rocks they're using. And then I show them my work. And they're like, how do you do it? And I tell them, you need the real live rock. I'll do this over from scratch. And I have some people who do it and some people who, people go through a lot in their time of getting into the hobby, and they spend money
Right.
on this, a skimmer, a reactor, this, that, and all the artificial rock, and they constantly keep spending. They're going to different fish stores, and they just can't get their tank right. And at the end of the whole term of it, they're spending like 5-6 grand, and they're like, oh, let's trust Jason, and let's see what he can do. And I got people who wing it, and some people who are just afraid because they just keep getting screwed with, so many different like service guys or and the thing is they don't have live rock. And from doing this so long, I mean I've done, like I said before, so many tanks. In comparison, it's the truth. I mean I'm not I don't want to make my job hard. You know what I mean? I want I don't want to get phone calls from
Like the
customers.
smooth sailing.
I don't want to get phone calls from customers while I'm fishing saying, oh no, my tank's this, the tank's that. And I'll be honest with you, I thank God, for my routine and blueprint method that I have that works.
Yes.
I never really get any issues. Maybe once in a while, but not as much as you think it would be. It was very smooth sailing for me. It allowed me to go on, take my vacations and love my fishing drug. but what else was I gonna say? No, but like I said, that bacteria is the main key to having a successful tank with using live rock, which that's what it has.
Do you find that if you start setting up a brand new tank and when you put the live rock in it, can you see a difference in the cycling time between
Yes.
your live rock versus artificial rock?
Oh, 1,000%. I started my tank at the end of January. I can give you an example because I wanted to do a phase thing to show people, and I was just getting disgusted. I'm going on bulk reef supply, and I see all these posts randomly when I open up my Facebook in traffic, and I see all these guys having trouble. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could fix these people's problems, and I've set up my tank in the end of January, and I've started with all my live rock, and I could tell you guys the process how I did it. I took all my rock. I used a fat brush, plastic brush. This was uncured at the time. And I had all the coralline. It smelled funky, all that die-off coming off, the rock. And remember, because all this rock, when it ships, The stuff's dying off little by little, but that
Right.
bacteria is on there. So I was brushing all that rock off, and I put it in my fish tank, and I let it run for like 2 months without even looking at my tank. Shut the lights off. Do not run any lights. Just run your skimmer, GFO, and have some circulation pumps going. You can have
Right.
your whatever you want running. Remember, 8 weeks running without any lighting. And don't look at your tank. Put like a moving blanket in your tank. Don't even think about it. Don't rush. The key to this is step by step to success. You got to be very patient in this hobby. So after 8 weeks, I never even tested my water because I know the whole process. There's no need for testing. Once you know the process, it's if you read books back in the day, they tell you like how to set up like a tank with live rock and how long it takes, and then so after 8 weeks, back to that, without testing, just the smell of the water, you can smell that uncured smell, a farty smell, has become like an ocean smell. And within those 8 weeks, I always recommend to do a 50% water change, just to get off the dial off and whatever the skimmer pulled out, because it is going to smell. And you can even ask Andrew. I went over his place one day, and Yallison was taking apart the skimmer. Oof, that was pretty bad. Andrew, if you're still there, I think I don't know if you remember that, but
And
so
when I got the piece of rock that David Day and you had sent me, when I got that and I opened the box, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I picked it up, and that was the very first thing that I noticed was, now keep in mind, I'm a sheltered child, I guess, or a sheltered person. I've only been to the ocean once, but when I pulled that rock out, I was like, oh, it smells like the ocean. And I was
yeah,
like, oh my God, that just absolutely amazed me. So
you know,
that was wonderful.
I don't understand where does coral come from? The reef structure is all dead rock. You put the live rock in your tank. And I tell people the reason why I think people don't know about it is the new hobbyists today, they don't know what live rock is because it's been banned for so long. And nobody was bringing Australia live rock. So I wanted to get it out there and, just to show people and just trust me. I mean, I've been doing this over 20 years, and I always wanted to learn new things, but it's a lot of marketing stuff out there nowadays. Just people trying to make some money. And God bless. Everyone's here to share a piece of the industry to make some money. But
Right.
let me back to what I was saying with the whole process. After 8 weeks, you did a water change, a 50% water change. It's time to add some invertebrates. Why? Because those guys will mow on your rock and clean everything up. And
Yes.
I'm not telling you to add one hermit crab, a snail, an urchin. You got to add a lot to where those things need to eat. They have no choice but to eat whatever's left on that rock. And you will get still some algae in the rock floating around. And, but remember, if you don't do this and you keep that light on, you're going to just have an algae outbreak.
Yes.
There's no like secret like, oh, it's gone without inverts. You need those inverts. And I would definitely stay away from chemicals, to do, because your tank is still in the process of cycling. So what I do is I add a crap load of inverts. My favorites are Mexican turbo snails because they are the only invertebrate that will eat turf algae. And this rock has some turf algae, which is not bad. You just got to get something that eats it. Mexican turbo snails, you need red leg hermits, or you could do blue leg hermits, extra large blue leggeds, or the small blue leggeds because they can go into little cracks. And you could do a couple some sea urchins depending on how big your tank is. And a very important invertebrate is Strombus conchs. They call them strawberry conchs. Those guys will oxygenate your sand and stir up debris and any red slime or any detritus, any diatom algae that forms, they will eat it all up. So that's another part of invert. And another good one is a tessellata and nerite snails. They may, in the beginning, seem like they won't be doing anything. They'll sit at the top for oxygen. They're just hanging out because they do like, you do see them on low tide on a lot of rocks in the Caribbean and in the Florida area. But this whole crew, I'm telling you right now, I do it on every single tank. We'll clean up all your rock until all the rock is white, but you still have that coralline on there that you don't really see. You'll see like a little hairline of it. Then you turn your lights on. right? Once you turn your lights on,
Uh-huh.
your tank is ready to, your rock's ready to get some photosynthetic stuff going on from your light. And when that happens, you start to see coralline starting to grow. What I say is the whole process for curing live rock would be 8 weeks, followed by invertebrates, and that'll let it run for another 2 weeks. So total like 10 weeks total. Then you can add a fish, some a little coral here and there, and don't add everything on one shot. You're gonna shock your system. You gotta do
Right.
everything step by step. Add
There is
little by little.
nothing in this hobby that turns out fast and good at the same time.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And in my tank, I mean, I put eventually within a year or two, I've been taking photos of and videos of before and after. And I mean, I have a graphic digi. I can show you guys here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Let's see. So I have this thing as like a flat tile, and this was like, I don't know if you can see it. It's all grown out, like how many stalks. And that's
Yeah.
only about like a month and 2 weeks old from flat to that. I mean, everything's
Cool.
established. I've got Ganios in here. I got what are they? The bleeding apple, Barabanki, Canto. I mean, I've got some stuff going on in here, but sooner or later
Beautiful.
I'm going to be adding more corals. But I like to take things slow. I got all these rock flowers, some grade A rock flowers, and I've not lost one fish. I mean, I've added slowly, and I put in three, what are these called? Diamond tail wrasses. I put three
Yeah.
females. They're cheaper than the male, and one of them became the male. I don't know if you're hiding right there. You see the dorsal
Aw.
fin and the anal fin. He's got long
Yeah.
fins coming out. And
Cool.
yeah, I got Maxima clam.
Aw.
Put them in. It's actually growing. You can see
See the
the
growth of
cells.
it.
Yeah, you can see it. Well, when it closes up, let me see if I can get them closed. But there he is. See the white?
Yep.
Yes. But so what I tell people is, you have to add slowly. Your tank knows when you add corals and fish and all bio load. Your tank knows, and it only can handle so much at one shot. So I usually tell people add one thing every couple weeks, or every month you go add a little bit of stock, because after about 6 months your tank will explode. It will start to thrive. And once it hits that year point, oh, it's all game on. Everything is just like smooth sailing. And if you don't wait, a lot of times is you're going to delay the process of your tank establishing. And that's what a lot of people have problems with that I've seen. And I know a lot of people aren't patient, but if you are patient, it does help a lot.
It does pay off in the end. I will say that. Now, I'm one that doesn't, I'm like anti-chemical, I guess you'd say. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like to dump, a bunch of stuff in my tank. If I have an issue, I try to find a natural way to take care of it. I don't like, and it's just me, but and stuff like you do. I like to keep it more natural like that. If you've got certain kind of algae problem, get the kind of snail that eats it or
Yep.
whatever. If your sand bed needs stirring, get something, get a sand sifting star or whatever to take care of it. So I'm more of the natural kind to take care of stuff instead of dumping the chemicals in.
Oh yeah, I have and it's funny on my setup here. I always use T5. I like the growth with T5. It's an old school type of lighting, but I actually combination them with Reef Bright. I have a Bashy sump with a skimmer down there and some pads just thrown there, some poly pads and some chemipures, and I dose 1 ml a day right now. I've been very simple, water out, water in. I change. It's a 120. It's a custom 120. I change about like 2 to 3 5-gallon buckets every month. The tank is new, and it's not heavily stocked. It's got small fish in there, but I have auto feeder going on with flakes, and I feed frozen once a day, and I keep the feeding consistent. Once you start feeding extra or less, your nutrient level starts to change. But I keep things pretty simple. I have like I said, a doser, 1 ml a day. Eventually, I'm going to start increasing the mls, but no magic. I mean, there's just I don't add any like crazy reactors and all that. I mean, once you get into big tanks, you want a crazy reef tank, past 300 gallons. I always recommend calcium reactors, but anything small, and I mean, keep it simple. The less wires, the better.
That's right. Now, I do see a question here. Will has asked, what kind of salt are you using right now?
All right. Well, I was a big fan of Tropic Marin back in the day. I know it's a really good salt. When I had my personal tank and I wasn't really doing the my aquarium business, but now that I have a good amount of clients and and I have my show tank here, I don't want to switch salts back and forth, especially making it for my own tank. So I use Reef Crystals, and I can by far tell you, like, I've never had an issue with that salt in the past, like 20 years.
That's what I use too.
Hey, listen, I never had to mix a bad batch. I get pallets in all the time, and it's good salt, I believe, and I never have issues. My corals grow fast, and I never encountered any problems with that salt. And even Instant Ocean regular salt, you can use that also. But for paying the extra money, what is it called? ESV salt, I think, is one of the best salts out there. But you got to mix the components together. Andrew Sandler uses that salt, and it is the best salt. And I do recommend that one if people really have time and can mix it together and use that salt. But it's the most cleanest salt. The thing is, with all these salts like Instant Ocean and a lot of them out there, you get like this clay residue when you mix a lot of it over time. If you're mixing it in a barrel, you get like a nasty residue. But it's synthetic salt being like in bulk, made bulk. So they how much can you like fix that problem?
Right. Now, Frank has asked a question. Would you suggest a water change on a 125 reef, 20% per month? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. As long as you don't have an overstocked tank. If you have a lot of fish, a lot of bioload in there, I mean, like, then, I'll do a little more water change. I mean, whatever works for you is best. But if you have like, not a crazy amount of nutrient levels and not a crazy stock, 20%, 25% once a month is fine, if it continues to do fine the way, that don't change your routine. Once you start changing your routine, you're shocking everything,
Right. Exactly. He says he's got 5 fish. I see that now.
Yeah. I want to tell people about, really quick, I was mentioning it earlier. I just so much to say. I mean, just where do I start? I'm like all over the place. But with the live rock, right? People say like, oh, I'm taking these rocks off the reef. I'm destroying the reef. Actually, no, it's not true. The rock is, when it gets broken off the reef from cyclones and you got like hurricanes and tropical storms, this stuff is like being brought by currents and making different, areas in the ocean piled up with this, with live coral at the time that's now dead. It's been piled up there. So, these divers have permits that are allowed to harvest a certain amount a year. So it's actually cleaning up the water a little bit. You got also all these storms bring this rock to like the shoreline over there. And, that's why you see the rock halfway out of the water and fully submerged from low tide and high tide. And, all these suppliers like to grab the rock from there if they're allowed to. There's rules to it. But we're not breaking this off the main reef. That's really messing things up. But there's certain procedures to do this. So if people ask, before they start saying things, bash on me, please, ask questions because I am experienced with this,
Yes. It seems, I think you and I were talking one time, and if I remember right, didn't you say a lot of the pieces and things that your supplier gets is maybe in like 3 feet of water that is washed up?
Okay, so in Western Australia, right? When my diver goes out, he has like a lobster vessel, and he has a skiff, like a little boat attached to it. He goes out there in only 3 feet of water. So all this rock that's been washed up is actually like submerged in the sand. And you got groupers, parrots, you got all crustaceans. I mean, blue ring octopus was pulled out one time. I mean, you got
Oh,
like, yeah, it was pretty wild. He sent me a picture. I think it was huge. It looked small, but it was actually big. And he brought it to the aquarium exhibit in the area in Australia where he's located. And
uh-huh.
so he's got the permit to collect a certain amount of rock. So every time he goes out and gets my rock, he sends me pictures of like, oh, look at this piece, look at that piece. And he's in 3 feet of water. Like literally, you could stand in there and like just pull his rock out of the water. And what happens is, he pulls it out and he puts it in these big totes on his vessel, and he weighs it, and whatever weight he's allowed to bring in, he collects it, and then he has a crew that boxes it up, and then the next day he'll ship it out to me. He'll take a ride. It's like a 4-hour drive to the airport, and send it overnight. And hopefully the airlines don't mess things up because the way they are today is unreal.
Oh my gosh. Shipping is horrible. Horrible. The cost
Diane,
of it right now.
it's
Um,
so bad. I wish I missed those prices back in the day. Fiji live rock, $3.99 a pound. I mean, it was just a lot of times the rock was cheap because a lot of suppliers brought in containers, and to fill up a container and ship it, it'd take a month, a few weeks to a month, and it's a cheaper way of doing it. We don't pay more, and you get the actual big pieces in. And Andrew bought a ton of rock for his 2,500 and some for his big tank. If he's still online, I mean, he showed off all the rock, and when he opened the boxes, it was just like amazing. I was like, oh my god! But we actually had a special order for him, and my diver, went out and picked out some jumbo pieces, and I said, you better pick the best pieces for him. So,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, nah,
For Andrew, we need the best pieces, don't we?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And no, no, my supplier I can give him a lot of credit. I love him, man. I'm glad that I met him, and I'm glad that I have a relationship with him because sometimes it's a lot of these guys overseas, especially in Indonesia, they don't speak English, and they won't even let you request pieces. And most of the time, you get small pieces. So a lot of these customers that call me or send me emails from the website, they said, "Oh, can I have a piece that's a foot long?" And I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to go out and as soon as I'm free, I'll go out and get you big jumbo pieces. But some people just want to order like, give me a mystery box. And Chad on here, Volts, he ordered about like 60 pounds of rock, and I sent him mystery rock, and he opened it and he was so happy, like his joy. He's like, oh my god, this stuff is awesome. And let me tell you, every rock that I have in these shipments, it gets better and better. I mean, my diver goes in different areas, and he's gonna see different stuff all the time. But it's not like back in the day Fiji Pukani rock. I mean, look, it was live rock. It's good. It works, but the shapes weren't that spectacular. So this
Right.
stuff is like beyond spectacular. It's the
Oh, it
best stuff
is.
I've seen. The best stuff I've seen.
I've seen some pictures that you've posted, on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, look at that, And then I'm messaging Chad Walton or Matt Atkins or whoever. I was like, oh, go look at this, go look at this.
Yeah, yeah. What's crazy, Tyann? I see
Okay.
people setting up tanks, and I'm not making fun of anybody. It's just, I wish people had, besides me making money on the rock, at the end of the day, it is a job, and I do hustle and bust my butt. I'm the only one doing this. I got one guy that works for me. He assists me, but it's all me. And at the end of the day, like, I see people setting up, tanks with a lot of artificial rock, and some of them looks cool, but you don't get that structure. You don't get any territory for fish. It looks, unless you're getting like a lot of it, but it's all the same shape. And
Yeah.
and with this rock that I have, every single piece is a different size, a different
Yeah.
shape, different crevices, and you don't even need to think. You could close your eyes blindfolded and drop the rock in the tank, and voila, you got like a crazy aquascape.
Not just putting it on cardboard and working for hours and hours and
Nah,
gluing this and gluing that.
honestly, you don't even need to glue this stuff. You can set up big tanks, and you don't even, if you got big pieces, you got 24-inch pieces, you really don't, they actually intertwine into each other, where all those acro and mani holes, the branch acro and the mani, they all actually intertwine and lock in. It's pretty wild. And as you build up, all that weight pushing down on it, it ain't moving. But, you know, but What else? No, other than that, like the rock speaks for itself, and
It
I would
does.
never, I would never. I mean, if people have artificial rock and they want to add to their tank, yeah, no problem. It's you could seed it, no problem. It'll take longer for the artificial rock to, absorb all that, bacteria. But with this rock, I'm telling you, the how porous it is. If you take a hammer and you bash a piece of real live rock and bash a piece of artificial rock, let me know what breaks into more sand. That's what has more like a sponge, and that's what will absorb all that good bacteria.
Right. Awesome. Now, be sure let's tell everyone what's your website.
Okay, the website is pristinemarineaquariums.com.
Okay.
And
PristineMarineAquariums.com.
yeah,
And if I can say this, I hope this is true, but I believe it is. If anyone has any questions, or wants a specific piece, or say, hey, Jason, do you have this? They're welcome to private messages. Is that correct?
yeah, oh yeah. When you go on my website, you'll see a section that says Australia Live Rock. It's pretty. My website's pretty basic. It's not difficult to find my information. Excuse me. You click on Australia Live Rock, and then there's a message box. You just send a message. It goes straight to my email, and I respond pretty fast, especially while I'm in traffic. So, I'm on it.
You guys in that traffic there. God.
Oh man, Andrew sees my post and he understands. He thinks I'm crazy and it does kill. And listen, I don't complain. What do you do in traffic? You're bored. You got to do something.
Right.
I'm a good multitasker. I could drive without any hands, so it's dangerous. But don't do that. Nobody do that. But
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. You and Eric, I've seen you guys post pictures back
yeah,
and forth, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm just this country girl from Arkansas, and I would just freak out in that kind of traffic.
yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah,
oh my God, that would be awful. It
yeah.
looks
I
like
just
Ted Walton's internet was out. He's back on now. Well, thank
think
goodness,
that.
Ted.
Oh wow. The
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has any questions, they can feel free to message me when I'm in front of my phone and answer messages. I'll get back to them. I do a lot of installations and service, so when I'm done, I kind of want to relax, but I will get to my messages eventually. But is any
Absolutely.
questions anybody has to ask about the live rock or that there was any information on here I gave out, then feel free to contact me. And if they want to learn and if they're new in the hobby, I'm here for them, man. I'm here to fix your mistakes before you spend thousands. You ever
Right.
you
And
ever hear of
in the
yeah.
end, Jason can save you a lot of money. Oh, look, we've got somebody from Western Australia on here.
Oh, nice. Oh, look who it is, Jerem. Good day for me. Hey, what's up, bud? Hey, and the what was I gonna say to you guys? No, like I said, you could feel free to message me any questions about the rock. But if anybody wants to set up a new tank, right, and wants to do all live rock, I can promise you, if you follow my steps, you'll have a successful tank. As long as you follow the steps. If you're not sure of anything, if you go on those forums and ask millions of people, you're gonna get millions of different answers, and then your level is gonna be like this.
Well,
You
you're
know.
always going to be chasing something. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
if you don't start with a foundation, with some good live rock, if you don't start and build it up from there, all you're going to be doing continually nonstop is pouring this in, pouring that in, chasing numbers and wondering
Yep.
why everything is all over the charts.
Yep. And then if you do it right, you can save all that money you just wasted, and you could have done it the right way. And one thing I do get is a lot of people say, "Oh, rock's expensive. It's this much money." And I understand. I'm with everybody. Like, guys, I wish this rock was cheaper. Make my life easier, not to shell out all the money. But one thing I see is like, yeah, the rock's expensive, but a lot of these people rather half-fast it and spend $1,000 on a torch that's gonna die. I mean, think about it. That $1,000, you could have already bought your foundation. You could have cured it properly and cycled your tank properly, and then you could have started
Exactly.
building slowly, and much more people have a successful tank.
Exactly. That sounds perfect. Jason, I have kept you a good solid hour or over, I believe.
Hey, I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to Florida Friday. I'm actually I'm moving some. I actually sell live rock in Florida. I opened up another area there. A buddy of mine is selling it for me, so he needs me to help deliver some rock to somebody down there. So I'm gonna head out Florida on Friday, and then I'll be getting another Australia shipment in probably the beginning of September. And you know, I'm still moving some of this here, but yeah, anything else, if feel free to ask. I'm wide awake now.
Absolutely. Jason is very good at answering messages. I mean, especially while he's in traffic.
You see, oh yeah, you see what Tracy said. You get what you pay. You get what you pay for. That's 100% true.
That's
You know,
true. That's true.
it's
It is absolutely true. You do get what you pay for. Started out right, started out slow. Like I said, there's nothing that comes in this hobby fast and good at the same time. It
yep.
doesn't happen.
Yeah, you know
You
what's
gotta have
crazy,
patience.
Tyann? I had when I first moved into my apartment over here, I set up my tank. It was 5 years old. I had a red planet that grew like 2 feet long, and everyone used to ask me, "Oh, how does it grow so fast?" And you know, I have the most basic routine ever. It's just stick to your routine, and if a new product comes out, you know, relax, stick to your routine. I know you want to support other businesses, but once you start adding, like we were talking about earlier, you know, your levels start changing, and you know, you're adding too much of this supplement, too much of that, like you know. And I know it's fun to add stuff. But you gotta take it easy, take it slow, like. But I know I missed that setup I had. That's why I was mentioning it. Andrew saw it. A lot of people saw it. It was my whole tank was. I had these very rare bounce mushrooms. I got it from direct from Indo, and no one knew what it was. I was the only one who had it, and I told the whole colony. And I had a few left, and with everything growing in my tank, I actually always go on vacation a lot. So what happened was I was in Bimini, Bahamas. I was in the fishing grounds over there, and I was out for 12 days. And on the 8th day, I look at my tank on my camera. I have a camera on the fish tank. I looked at my camera at like 9 o'clock at night, and everything was doing well. As soon as I woke up in that morning, my whole tank was white, and I'm like, ugh. 5 years running. I'm like, oh my god, what happened? So, it was in March last year. I left my windows open because I'm on the second floor over here in this complex in this apartment here, and it gets really hot with my T5 lights. I have 2 chillers running on both tanks, and I left the windows open, and it was like a 50-degree day out. The next day at nighttime, it went to like 10 degree, 40 miles an hour wind. All that gust blowing through the window, hitting the tank, blew out my heaters, and yeah, chilled the tank down to like 55 degrees, and I lost everything. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, it was crazy. But I just want to mention like in memories to that setup. But now I started this tank, and I'm happy that I started using the Australia Live Rock, and I want to do phases. So I'm trying to put the time in and show everybody little by little. I'll be posting photos before and after and growth of all the corals, and just to show people how established tank progresses. And
Right.
but yeah.
We look forward to seeing that as it grows. Absolutely. Be sure and check out his website. If you have any questions, anyone that we have not discussed or covered, or if we missed them, scrolling through here because comments was going pretty quick, and that's something that Jason can help you with, absolutely send him a private message, send him a friend request. Look on his website and see if there's something on there that you like, because my lights got going out on that time.
Oh, there you go.
I know, I've got them jacked up. I've got to fix them. I need to do that tomorrow. Absolutely. Look on his website. Get a hold of Jason. He's very good, like I said, at responding, very quick at responding. He does a lot of traveling, but he responds during the traffic jams.
Oh yeah, I can multitask pretty damn good. I can't lie.
That's right.
That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh, that's funny. Jason, thank you so much for coming on here. I've had such a good time with you. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Tyan. Always a pleasure. I had a great time also, and I hope everybody learned something and the benefit about live rock. And if there's any questions, feel free to contact me. Like Tyan said, I'm here.
Absolutely. He will get back to you, I promise. And anyway, Jason, thank you. You have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you again real soon sometime, I
Oh,
bet.
definitely. Thank you so much. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Jason.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. See you.
Bye-bye. Guys, I want to thank you very much for joining us for the live with Jason Giannas. I do hope that you all have learned a little bit something about live rock. I know that I did, and I do have a piece in my tank, and I've got to fix that light, fix the timer, or set the timer on it. I've got it messed up. I appreciate every one of you joining in. Be sure and keep an eye out around high noon tomorrow, Central Standard Time. We're going to do a promo for next week's special guest. I think you'll really enjoy it. We do have several booked up for the next several weeks that I really think that you're going to enjoy. Like I said, on that post tomorrow, high noon, comment. You will be entered for a sticker pack giveaway. And when I say a sticker pack, I mean all sorts of stickers. So be sure and comment on that post. The commenting will be turned off at noon on Monday. So you've got the entire time to do that. To make a comment to get a number to be entered in a random drawing for a sticker pack. Now, I do want to say a special thank you to someone. You guys have been so good to me. So many people have been so good to me. Dinkins Aquatics has sent me this shirt. David Day has sent my husband and I both matching shirts. Everyone has just been wonderful to me, and I really appreciate it. One person I do want to send a special shout out to is Chad Walton. He is the man behind the scenes here. He is my admin, and I just have to show you something special that Chad Walton sent and Justin sent me this week. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It is gorgeous. They sent me this beautiful bracelet. I'm hoping that it's focused on it. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if you can see it very good or not. I plan on posting some pictures on my Facebook page because it is just absolutely beautiful. Chad Walton, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. You guys take care. Have you a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of what's left of it. And you will watch for the drop at high noon tomorrow and see who next week's special guest is. Take care. Have you a wonderful evening. Go check out Marba and join that group, please. They've got a big giveaway coming up soon. And keep inviting, guys. Keep inviting to Take Talk. We're this close to 2K, and we're going to get it. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Hats off to you guys. Keep the invites coming. Love you all. Have a good one.